life in the vice, CPS tight, fighting through the nights, through the pain and the plight. Lost in the system, kids taken away, but he ain't giving up, fighting day by day. Courtroom's cold, but his heart fire bold. Every document, evidence, stories untold. Digging deep, unearthing all the mess. Knows he's getting closer, there's no time to rest. CPS won't break this man, fighting each day, got a bigger plan. Reclaiming his kids, dreams in his hand, battling for others strong like a brick wall stand. Every setback a setup for a comeback. Vinny stacking facts, ready for the attack. Discovering truths buried deep in the lies. Eyes on the prize, freedom in his eyes. Community's voice rising up, getting loud. Vinny leading the charge, making his folks proud. Taking down giants, carrying the fight. The light at the end now blindingly bright. For his kids, for his life, for the broken and lost. Vinny's resilient, no matter the cost. Breaking free from chains, reclaiming his dream. CPS trembling when Vinny hit the scene.
In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose, protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation.
Good evening, everybody. You're live with the one and only Mr. Vinny. So I want to take the time to go over a couple things that, as I iterated earlier, the GAL, the guardian ad litem, that sits on my case, is a bar vice president. Now, under her, and her name is Libby McCullen, she's a vice president of the GAL Bar Associates. Under her is Aaron Clow, who is the attorney general on our case as well. This creates a conflict of interest. These two have been aligned from the start of our case. CPS has had no jurisdiction to even be on this case when it comes to subject matter jurisdiction, because they have no authority over this case in this county. We did not live in Kennebec County for more than 6 months. It is a blatant violation of our constitutional rights, and this court in Kennebec County should not be hearing this case whatsoever because they do not have jurisdiction. Cumberland County is the one that holds the jurisdiction of this case, not Kennebec County. Me and my wife have several times asked both attorneys, Mr. Richard Chipman and Allison Kuhn, to challenge jurisdiction and to have the guardian ad litem removed. They have failed to comply with what me and my wife has requested more than once. I am infuriated with you, Richard, and with you, Allison Kuhn, for not defending your clients in these courts, which leads me to wonder if you are just in it to make a goddamn paycheck, when I know you, Richard Chipman, have your own family, which makes me wonder if these courts have threatened you in any way to make you do what they want you to do. And I am highly investigating many options because this case is founded on hearsay. This case is founded on coercion. This case is founded on manipulation of a child under the influence of an adult who used her sexual explicit story to gain coercion on this child and to interject my name into a conversation where it was never meant to be in the first place, because this woman has had it out for me, because about 3 years ago, she decided I'm going to step in on a post and run my mouth. Well, she wasn't expecting this blunt asshole right here to stand up and tell this fat bitch where to go and how to get there. Because I am not afraid to tell someone how it is and where to go. I am not afraid. And she contacted the DA's office. They told her to have me put out to the media, news channels. So the DA's office out of Portland is involved. They're connected to this. They have allowed my name to be tarnished, dragged through the mud, defamated my character, and gotten away with it for far too long. They have breached every single one of my constitutional rights, even the right to a fair trial. I can never have a fair trial within the state of Maine because I was published in almost every single fucking news channel in Maine. This is a problem. This is overreach of a DA's office, overreach of CPS, overreach of a state police officer, Victoria Lane. I'm calling your stupid ass out too. Because you put in your report that she interjected my name into a police report. Interjected. Maybe you don't know the meaning of injected my name into a conversation. You stupid bitch. I'm calling you out. You ain't a cop. You do not deserve to wear your badge. You should be fired and put in jail because I have recently learned that Troop B out of Oxford, Maine, was in fact the same troop on my juvenile file who happens to have my juvenile case, who happened to leak my information to the Department of Health and Human Services and Jessica Layton. This is a breach of my confidentiality, a breach of sealed records to someone in the public that had no authority to see. This is a problem. What's up, Christy? Sorry, guys, I forgot to turn the chat on. You know, not only have they done that, the DA in my case admitted on the record that he falsely arrested me at my job because the judge on the record said Mr. Torrey is allowed to work. He is allowed to go to doctor's appointments and he's allowed to go to court. But he had me arrested at my job. And this detective said that I violated bail by being at work. Bitch, you need to be slapped and sued for listening to this little punk ass DA who was talking out his asshole and violated my constitutional right to due process. The both of you are in cahoots, and I'm going to be taking you both down with my constitutional right because I am coming after you for a lawsuit. And when I do, you will be held accountable for your perjury. So, Mr. DA, Carlos Diaz, I hope you're listening and watching very well because a lawsuit's coming on you, buddy. And it ain't about money. It's about you going down for violating my rights and your office violating my rights. No more will I live in fear of looking over my shoulder at you cops coming at me. I've been nothing but stuck to this house. I've abided by my release. Very much so. I've not gone nowhere. I've stayed to the property. I've stayed in my house. I've stayed in my room. You ain't gonna silence my voice. You don't have that authority, Mr. DA and Mr. Judge J. French at the Portland District Court, you piece of shit. You've been on my case more than 6 times. There's a fucking problem with this. And the bar covering you, Stephen, and the DA, and lying for you makes it worse. Because you're all in it together, and I can prove it. Because on the state of Maine website, they list the blue team and everyone that is on the blue team. And guess what, guys? On the blue team was my attorney, Stephen Cheng, was the DA, and is Judge Jay French. How ironic that they're all on the same team. How ironic that they're all going against me. How ironic is it that the bar associates are letting them get away with treason, violation of constitutional rights, and getting away with violating a 1983 order. Violation of under color of law. 1983, 241, 242. Yet the bar associates is letting them get away with that violation. Yeah, exactly, Tammy. For child trafficking. because they want to traffic my 4-year-old to make the profit. Because they can't traffic my 14-year-old because she's damaged goods. My 4-year-old is not. She is not damaged by any means. This is a problem within the United States, all 50 states. And if you, Mr. President Trump, are paying attention, and you, Pam Bondi, are paying attention, and you, Mr. Cash of the FBI, and Don Bongino of the FBI are paying attention and watching, you should be listening. You should be observing. And you should be attacking these people for the blatant violations that they're getting away with. You're allowing the bar to do and say as they want. Since when does the government have more power than we the people? I thought we the people and the citizens ruled you assholes. I'm pretty sure that's correct, because that's what it says in our Constitution. We the people, not we the government. So, Mr. President, Ms. Bondi, Mr. Cash, Mr. Bongino, and all of you judges listening, all you attorneys, all you DAs, all you ADAs that are listening, you're in violation of constitutional rights under the color of law. What makes you think you can come here and arrest a man without proving a warrant in your hand, or taking his children without a warrant or court order in your hand? Trespassing on private property where there's signs out front that are posted more than 20 feet apart. They're 20 feet from 20 feet. And it says private property, no trespassing. And the other one says no trespassing. Private property, trespassers will be shot. Do you get the drift? You're trespassing on someone's private property and you think they're not going to be hostile with you? You better think again, because I'm pretty sure the Second Amendment of the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. You assholes. What's up, Mr. Herbert? You know, I've come on here, I've shared my story over and over. Mr. Herbert himself is pissed off at the way these police conducted what they did to me. And to find out, Mr. Herbert, that the DA admitted he falsely arrested me is huge. Huge. This is grounds for dismissal, yet these fucking assholes do not want to give me a dismissal. He violated my rights to earn a living. He has violated my rights from the start. He did that to block me from having my bail amended, and he continues to block me from seeing my children. Him and CPS are in cahoots. Funny how he's going over his jurisdiction because he's a Cumberland County DA and stepping out of his jurisdiction to chase down my CPS case. But no one's doing anything about it in this goddamn state. No one's got the balls to stand up against this corrupt agency, the corrupt courts, the corrupt DAs and ADAs and AG's office. No one's standing up to this corruption. This corruption needs to be bled out of this state. Bled. These people that have violated our rights with acts of treason should be hung. Because that's what they did back in the day. They hung them in the gallows. And that's what needs to happen, Mr. President. These people that are acting outside the color of law and not abiding by the color of law need to be prosecuted to the highest degree, like they have done to several and many families across the United States of America. They are not for we, the people. They violate on hearsay, on coercion. They are trained in manipulating. They're trained to coerce their way into parents' homes. And they're using police officers to do their jobs because they're say, oh, we're scared. You have a right to be scared because you're trespassing on people's property where you should not be. You have no right to interfere in parents' rights. You're a system that is corrupt and filled with corruption. And it's time citizens, parents, children stand for their Constitution, their rights to be free. Why should we live in fear of this agency that has gone rogue? I'm glad that you are, Tammy. You understand. And I'm sure many other parents are facing the same problems throughout the United States. But know this, guys. I've been out fighting. I've been out talking to people. Matter of fact, I was just talking to um, someone who's running for governor here in Maine. And he agreed with me that the Constitution has been violated by these people. I'm hoping he's listening because I gave him a link to our show and he said he was going to check it out. So I'm hoping Mr. Wessel is listening to what's going on within this state. Maine is filled with corruption from the governor's office to the police departments to CPS, DHHS, to the courts, to the guardian ad litems, to the attorneys, to the clerk of courts. They're all frauding the system to make money. This is a serious problem. Very serious problem. And it needs to be dealt with very soon. It doesn't matter what Trump orders. Maine's not listening. Maine has defied Trump's order on transgender males being allowed to play in women's sports. Maine has not allowed ICE to come into the state of Maine. They are blocking them from doing so. Do you really think that Maine's governor, who is a piece of trash, who used to be the biggest cocaine dealer in Maine, is going to allow the government to come in? Nope. She has been blocking them on every avenue that she can, covering her tracks, lying, backing CPS for trafficking our children. She's a part of it too. She's a big part of trafficking in the state of Maine. Believe it or not. So is the courts. So is the GALs, CPS, the judges. They're all a part of it. Why? Because they use Title 4E and Title 4D and get a kickback on their kickback on their kickback. And I guarantee you that if Doge did an audit of the whole state of Maine, he would find so much information. But will it be done? Probably not. They're too focused on other things. They don't care about the little people. They don't care about the people that are being shamed. They don't care about the people that are being robbed here. They don't care about the government's overreach in this state. They do not. Our own president hasn't even been here. So, Mr. Trump, I ask you, you're supposed to be for we the people and fighting for we the people as our commander. Why don't you step into the plate, Mr. President? Why are you keeping to going after foreign places when you should be looking in your own backyard and protecting the people that voted you into office? And I was one of them. I voted for you, sir. And my pleas have not been heard. I'm one of many that have voted for you. Yet you do not listen. You do not hear our plea. It's time you get off out of that desk. Stand up for the United States people and start looking into child and family services and start digging into them and see where the trafficking really is coming from. Because CPS is the root to all of this evil of trafficking children. They want to cover it up. They want to hush the people that did it. Look at Nancy Schaefer. They said it was a suicide. How's a woman going to pull a trigger of a gun that's a handgun without a kickback? She couldn't. No way in hell. They murdered her for speaking against the government. And I'll tell you this now, Mr. President, if something happens to me or my family because of state cops, local cops, the judge, I hope you step in. I've already put this warning out to all of my podcasters, all of my listeners. They know if I disappear and no one see me or heard from me, or that my wife gets a hold of them, that I've been seriously violated. Because that's what they've been doing, trying to silence my voice this whole entire time. They're afraid of what I've uncovered. I've uncovered a lot with other people in my state and many others across the US. We have information that proves fraud, coercion, manipulation, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, predator abuse, but yet our president does nothing. Funny how that is, huh? I'm hoping he is, Tammy. I really am. I am hoping that Trump is listening. Trump is observing what's really going on. I am really hoping so. You know, I've worked my ass off for my entire case. I have fought from day one. Day one. 2 years ago. I have been fighting for 2 years to see my kids, to have my kids returned. And for what? Now they're telling me that, oh, you're definitely going to trial. For what? What am I going to trial for? Based on hearsay, based on the facts that these supposed text messages cannot be verified or proven. Ain't that some strange shit, huh? They did a search on my Meta Facebook data, and my attorney told me on Friday that he has gone through most of it and cannot find these text message anywheres within this metadata. And the supposed screenshots they have so much noise on them that you can't even read them. They're blurred. You can't even read the context. Our original screenshot, which I can prove, would show the metadata, would show what phone they came from, would show the phone number they came from, and would clearly show the text message, clear as day. There may not be many watchers today, and that's okay because there was a big rally in Maine, and lots of people are busy today dealing with their own problems and issues. But I came on to kind of finish what I was saying to earlier on the main show. You know, this case is riddled with fraud, riddled with lies, riddled with coercion and manipulation. Yet no one listens to me, not even my own fucking attorneys. And you attorneys should be shaming yourselves for not backing constitutional rights. You should be hung with the rest of them, out to dry. And Mr. Jonathan, how are you today, sir? Don't forget, guys, tomorrow night we have Mr. Obsidian and Jonathan doing their show. We also have Gunning for CPS with the one and only Mr. Gunner. I'm not sure what he's talking about on his show tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is my night off, so you probably won't see me tomorrow night. It is also Darren's night off as well, and Tiffany's. So I'm going to end up getting the show started for Mr. Obsidian, and I'll be around in the background just to run his show for him when he does his show tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think it's at 7:00, 7 to 9. So keep in mind, guys, Mr. Obsidian should be on tomorrow night, 7 to 9, with Mr. Jonathan. I can't wait to hear what they got planned for their next show. It will be their second show. The first show went off really well. Jonathan's story, it hit home with me. And the fight that Obsidian has in him, that man is a train of knowledge. And for people to look down on him as like he doesn't know anything, you're wrong. That man is all about his laws all the way around. He is crucial to our fight because he knows more than people think he does. You put a new vid on your channel? All right, I'll have to check that out, Jonathan. Link me it in the chat so I can go check it out. It'd be interesting to kind of see, I'm always watching and listening to others' stories. I'm not just about my own story. I am about everyone else's stories as well. And I'm hoping that we can get Mr. Westphal on one of the shows and have him understand the full knowledge, because he believes highly in the constitutional rights of the people. And that's what we need. We need someone that's not about making the money, but for fighting for our constitutional rights. So, I look at, some of these representatives in Maine here that are, they're obviously fighting for women's rights and getting men out of women's sports. I get that. But you guys should be also covering parental rights, because parental rights are being stomped on by the school districts. They're being stomped on by our governor. They're being stomped on by CPS, by the judges, by the clerks, by the attorneys, by the ADAs, by the DAs, by the AAGs, by the AG's office, and getting away with it. This is not okay. This is not. Should not be happening. Parental rights are fundamental. They're interlienable. Interlienable. They cannot be taken away. So when they say they're going to terminate your rights, it's supposed to be at the federal level. A lower court does not have the authority to terminate your rights. They do not. Only a federal court can terminate your parental rights. I've watched things on it. Only the Supreme Court can terminate your parental rights. These lower courts don't hold that authority whatsoever. Tammy, I am no different from I am just a regular guy fighting for his family. I'm fighting my own cause and also fighting for the people. I'm not in this to win money and make millions and millions of dollars. Though it would be nice, to get something out of me winning. But it's not about the money. It's the principle that my rights have been violated. It's the principle that my kids were taken unjustly, and I want my children returned. I don't care about money. I never have. Money's not a thing to me. It's not a commodity. My kids and my life is more to me than anything because I love my daughter Arasta unconditionally. I love my daughter Trinity unconditionally. And I did nothing but try to raise these kids with respect and show them how to be brought up, how to not defy their parents. When I said something, they didn't listen. They were taught by the other half, it's okay, they're there. I'll give it back to you. Me, I'm more of the enforcement. I highly believe that if a child is going to manipulate their parents and think that they can get away with it, they should be disciplined. They should have things taken. They should be made to do chores, and they can't leave the house. That simple. If you will not follow the the parental rights of your parent and listen to your parents and obey what your parents have said and run to your mommy and make mommy your best friend and convince your mommy it's that someone said yes when they said no, you got some kind of issue. And maybe you really need to be investigated yourself because a parent unit is supposed to be one: mother, father, father, mother. You're supposed to be one parental unit, not a divided. Hence why I do not like parents who are abusing the system to force child support on a male or woman, for that matter, if it's not an abusive relationship. They should be doing everything outside of the courts, working together 50-50. 50-50. If it's an abusive relationship, then, with only proof by the court, should you be going for child support. But if you're able to agree together, leave that shit out of a courtroom because you're the ones that are fueling the fire for the corruption. You're the ones allowing these judges to violate our constitutional rights. I want you all to think about that. Think about what I said. and what I've been talking about since earlier today. I want you to really put that knowledge and go do some searching of your own. Parents should not go against each other. Parents should not be separated from their children. Should not. Parents should be not made to look like a monster unless they deserve it. Me, on the other hand, I don't deserve to be looked at as a monster because I am no monster. I have spent hours upon hours searching law, searching through all I could to fight for my kids, to prove my innocence. And every avenue I've been shut down. That's wrong. For attorneys not to be listening to their clients is wrong. They not only work for the courts, they work for us. Yet I get, oh, that's frivolous. This is frivolous. No, that's frivolous. Take your fucking frivolous and shove it up your dick hole or your piss hole. I don't want to hear your frivolous shit. It's not frivolous. Having a guardian ad litem removed off of a case due to fraud, coercion, lying, manipulation, and deceit is not frivolous. Richard Chipman, I know you listen to the show, and I hope you understand. I want it done, Mr. Richard. And if you don't do it, I'll go over your fucking head and do it myself. As you've already seen, I am not one to cross, sir. And I will not be your pet iguana for you to make a buck. You want to take my family and split it apart? You better hope I don't sue you in the meantime. Because I'll take your family just apart like you've done mine. I expect better of an attorney and a former chief of a fire department who should understand that parental rights are inalienable. The Constitution reigns supreme. It is the supreme law of the land. Yet you ignore it. Why is that, Mr. Chipman? Why do you ignore constitutional rights? Why do judges ignore constitutional rights? Thank you, Targeted. I appreciate you, honey. Um, Targeted, I don't know if I've actually spoke to you at all, but we would love to hear your story sometime again on the show. Um, I would love to have you on one of my shows to share your story sometime. Um, is there a way that I can reach out to you um, to maybe bring you on my Thursday show this coming week? Is that possible? That's not a threat. That's a promise. I'm not gonna. I'm. There's no threats here. That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind long stories. My story is even longer. Trust me. I get it. But there's no threats here. It's a promise that I'll sue them. I'm not afraid to go after them with a lawsuit or to go after them with a complaint or to report them to the DOJ or the FBI. I'm not afraid to do so. Your email's on your homepage. Well, I can't view that right now, Dolan. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put my email in here. There it is. Reach out to me. Um, I'd love to get you on my show on Thursday. It's usually by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I go from 2 to 3 o'clock, so you would have an hour to share your story. I welcome anyone if you're willing to share your stories and you want to be heard. I welcome you to come on all or any of our shows and share your stories. You know, we got tons of platforms. We even got one geared towards you younger folk. Miss Amy shared her story the other day. She just started her platform on here. We got Gunning for CPS. We have Healing with Sam Mosley. We have CPS Victims Fighting Justice. We have Tiffin the Punisher. We have Danielle's show. I'm Unmasking Foster Care. We have Bring Back Brenda. And we have Obsidian Show. And we have Turn the Page with Kim Page. So we have tons of shows. Yes, 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time targeted. I would love to hear your story even more. I know I got to catch some of it at one point, but I'd love to hear it again. And to hear what's going on in your world and what you're dealing with. Guys, we have to band together. We have to get our stories heard. We have to raise our voices. We have to post out on all social media platforms. Get these news stations to start listening to our cries. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be, you just simply got to start stating the facts. Parental rights are being violated. CPS is causing fraud and much more. You know, this needs to be investigated into. I did see a thing today on TikTok and I heard that Doge, I haven't confirmed if it's true or not, but I heard on a TikTok thing that Doge is now getting ready to target the Department of Health and Human Services and CPS and audit them. I don't know if it's true facts, but I'm going to dive into that later on tonight and see what I can dig up. But if that's true, this is going to be a big turnaround piece for some of us. It might start shedding the light on the foster care systems, the trafficking, and the laundering of money that these people are doing. Yes, exactly, Jonathan. You can also get your story out that way. Right. I do it all the time. I'm posting on social medias. I'm reaching out to representatives. I'm reaching out to the news people, but only the real news. Obviously, I'm not reaching out to like CBS because that's all fake propaganda bullshit. I'm looking for the real news people, the people that are backing the president. And that's what you got to look for. The ones that are actually backing Doge, the Trump administration. You need to find them outlets, the ones that are backing them. Even if you're commenting under the White House, they actually have a webpage on Facebook. The White House does, and they post annually updates. POTUS has a thing too where you can contact them. They sent out an email, I think, to most people where POTUS allows you to get a hold of the White House through POTUS in text message. So that might be another avenue as well. But I've been trying to get that information out there to everyone, out to the community, shed the light on what's really going on throughout the United States. Yeah, you ain't far from me, targeted. I'm in Maine, so you're not far from me, Dallin. I understand that fully. I'm from Albany, New York myself, so bad state, very bad state as well. New York is horrible. I grew up differently when I was in New York to compared to now. I would never bring my kids to that city in Albany. It is filthy, is run down. It's a disgrace. Luis, my daughter was kidnapped through the court systems and found fraud and defiant color of law. We are on working on the other side of things, but it's still taking a while. Yeah, unfortunately, Luis, there has been nothing going on. Um, and I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. You're from Maine. Oh, no kidding. What part, Luis? Sebago here. I'm right on the lake. Is it Luis or Lewis? Must be Lewis, I would assume. I got a weird accent sometimes when I'm trying to say stuff. It's just like everyone gets on me about, when I'm doing my posts because I'm using talk to text sometimes, and it doesn't recognize what I'm actually saying. Hey, Mr. Naylor, Kennebec, Augusta. Yeah, that's a bad county, Lewis. That is a bad county. Lewis. I thought so. Lewis. Okay. Yeah, that's a bad county. Kennebec and Augusta. That's where my court case is out of too, which I can't find how that is because they don't even have jurisdiction of my case. Cumberland County has jurisdiction of subject matter jurisdiction, not Kennebec County. So my case is up by your neck of the woods as well. And they've been putting it off, putting it off. My attorney has not replied to me in over 6 days. Not once. What a great attorney, huh? But guys, I am almost about at that time. Um, Lewis, you could reach out to us at CPSV huntingjustice at gmail.com. Or you can reach out to myself, Vinny, on Facebook. I am, hold on, I'll give you my name on there so you can look me up. You might find me, you might not. I post in a lot of the groups. I am under, let me find myself here. Give me 1 second. You can find me at NCPS and Government Corruption on Facebook. If you would like to get your story heard, we have shows Monday through Friday and on the weekends too. We would be happy to get your story out there and for you to share your story on the podcast. So make sure all you guys are liking and subscribing to our channels. We have shows. Most of them are done per East Coast time because me and Darren are on the East Coast. We're both out of Maine. I am his co-host. He is the main owner of the podcast. He's Fight CPS on Facebook. You can reach out to him as well. And we can get you on the show. I am the manager of the podcasters. And we're always looking for new people to come on, share their stories, or if they want to have their own podcast. We're always looking for that too. So guys, keep that in mind if you're willing to come on. Yes, we are. Tiff and the Punisher. Yes. Yep, that's ours. Punisher is the main star of CPS, Victims Hunting Justice, and every single podcast that we have on our stations. Darren is a great friend, a brother, kind of, to me. We work closely hand in hand together. I am his manager. Um, so if you are willing and you guys want to share your information, that'd be great. Can you send me an email? Yeah, I put my email in here, targeted. Hold on, I'll put it in here again. That's my email right there. Just dropped it again. Absolutely, my email's right there. Lewis, you're welcome to hit me up, and I will get your information over to Darren. Um, I can reach out to Darren at any point during the day. Today happens to be Darren's day off. Tomorrow is his day off. He does a lot. He's working on a couple of big cases right now as well. So he's very busy, and I'm trying to relieve some of that from him, by taking over all the podcasts, getting people on the show to talk, all that stuff. I manage that. Darren puts the graphics and everything together for our shows. Not only does he do that, he makes all of the sounds and music for our shows. He puts together the shows for each person that is doing their shows. And we are working currently on getting our website up and running, which has been his diligently busy doing. So a big props out to Darren. If you guys are ever interested in reading his book that he has out, it's on Amazon. It is Stay Calm, CPS is Coming. It helps benefit the channel. So that might be something for you guys to look into getting and purchasing. We also sell apparel that benefits the show. So there's a lot that we do here. So keep that in mind, guys, that having you come on our show, we don't request you guys to pay us anything. We don't. We are just advocates, journalists, whatever at you will. We are just trying to give you information to help you along the way. We are by no means any attorney, any lawyer. Miss Tiffany is one hell of an advocate, as well as Spanny, and many others. We even have a police officer that's former police officer, former state cop with us, and he is our law guy. He is Mr. Herbert. He's very passionate guy. So I just want to iterate, guys. We're all in this together. We're all fighting together. We're all trying to get each other's stories heard. We're trying to help the community. We do have Facebook groups as well that we're affiliated with. So just keep that in mind moving forward. And remember, do not let CPS or DFS or DSS in your door without a warrant or court order in their hand. And make sure that you're able to read that court order or warrant, and it's not just a piece of paper that's blank. And make sure you're looking for that seal and the judge's signature on the bottom of it. Because if it doesn't have the seal and it doesn't have the judge's signature where you could read it, it could be fraudulent. So just keep that in mind the next time you let CPS in your home without a warrant. So guys, I'm at that time. I'm going to end the show. I put my email in here. It is darkdark325@gmail.com. You can reach out to me, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you, and get you on the show. So until next time, you guys, have a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless. And I will see you soon. Have a good one, guys. I'm out of here.
Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just the mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.
Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scraped their knees. Now just imagine how they mightest feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look?